Alright, abusia ma memfa enase sonko mfiri Bega TV asoye. Emfa bro bibi Nyankopɔn hyira wo. Abusia unim de eko. Sisi NPP for ahyase adopt some strategy bi a mo pese mo use after say yura John Dramani Mahama omo ebesweni in as a president no. Now mo ahyase use that strategy no. Na nyina ne se afanyo markings na ehye akiri. Waye na adwen sisi no. Opposite the moment almost where you John Dramani Mahama in as a president na next year. No much shall say at the press conference, no more at the trust I shall say a fire president elected and as a president John Mahama any na buying. Say mu to a banko for we na the. So because of that, you know, President John Mahama ain't taking any drastic, you see. No much shall say ye propaganda. No much shall say link democracy no more bode wuru. Abusia sauti sansem na memo wakumantu. Me see you John Dramani Mahama oni na ndisi aban eya ade bi enya mega mebo mochi. But to hear from opposition party like NPP any Afeyo Markins to come out and condemn Mahama Bang within first 20 days of in his office, and I say within 1 year no, we will never tolerate it. And trust me, anything that they start, and I say any strategy beyond Beshas on Beno, hey, let me tell you, men for me serious. What is asem na bomugu because a fake propaganda and on pesomuye. Ye na enim say about you mutuye. Ni constituency efutu ni region nsawom any some tesano on say wentwi bi aba ho yebisa se edi ntenkofu eni abreko a mudi akire ene mo ka kire Ghana for say last 4 years mo ka kire NDC for no Ghana for say ye election at the police station no ene mo na munhu mo pin sheet ena mo claim say ma weni seat no yewura si edun ketia edi nsim bi akoma NPP for ni Afeyo Markins nsem bi asebi or na mo keka na ka kire mo your lines won't fly and what betides NPP na NDC omuso mu ina no ma sha ase keka nsem ho no obeti mo piga okroma yen kasema mo condemn mo, but this is not the time, it is too early mo nsem fo ase bi wadi no Ghana na ye ka enka mu na mugum ka kufa do wi ni tema na ya ma che no na ko hyensa wo any ministers na appointees any MPs na mo luso mu seat ni na even no mo luso mu seat ni de makogum. Nobody should blame Mahama, nobody should condemn Mahama, nobody should criticize him in his first 1 year. Ubianka na nuntu ukrunga na yenina yenhwe de MPP NDC aban di Ghana befa so. Yenti Yura Johnson Asidun Ketia, the chairman general dema MPP NDC party yenti mfambra ko bebetwa so.
At police training depot and declared by somebody who is other than the returning officer. In fact, it doesn't amount to redeclaration because the person who was forced to declare Antesano is not the designated person who has power or authority to declare any results of Antiaqua at all.
He was standing by when the returning officer declared.
So, and that person was standing by the returning officer in Begro when the returning officer was declaring the results. And then he is now invited to come and redeclare. And I'm not surprised. You know, it reminds me about your drama in Parliament where Mr. Speaker presides and takes a decision, and then the following day MPP forces a deputy speaker to go and reverse the decision of the speaker. So this is the hallmarks of MPP's impunity. So we don't want to, engage in anything that will escalate tensions. So we have proceeded to court and have applied to injunct the process that is going on there. And we hope we are putting the Electoral Commission and all other people involved in that illegality on notice that what they are doing amounts to an illegality. If they choose to proceed, then they will be ready for the consequences. The staff of the commission who are engaged in this illegality, there will be consequences for them in future. And let me also advise some other influential people in society. I hear that in some places, chiefs are involving themselves in this electoral process and putting pressure on commission officers not to proceed to do their work according to law. We are also advising Nananom that it is for very good reasons that the Constitution provides that Nananom should not be involved in active partisan politics. But if they choose to descend into the arena of controversy, then they know the consequences will be obvious. So we are advising Nananom to conduct themselves, as many of those who are involved, to conduct themselves as chiefs of all the contestants and not to enter into this arena of controversy. Because if you present yourself as a politician, we will treat you as a politician. If you present yourself as a competitor, we treat you as competitor. If you present yourself as a contestant, the other contestants will treat you as such. And I don't think it will be good for us, because the provision in the Constitution barring chiefs from participating in this active politics has at least served our democracy that far. And so we are advising Nananom to take note of that and contribute their quota by way of peace building rather than entering the arena of controversy. Now, I heard my junior brother Afenyo Makin, who, having rejected the position of minority leader, is now on his way to becoming a micro minority leader. Bragging that he belongs to a party of rule of law and all that. Who doesn't know about NPP? We in the National Democratic Congress don't need lectures from Afenyo Makin about democracy at all. Indeed, if there were any need for lectures in impunity, then we will invite him as our lecturer. But if it is about democracy, he must shut up. He should go back to his region and take stock of his parliamentary candidates who have been shooting and killing people, his party people who have been shooting and maiming people across the country. We are quiet not because we are we are sending notice that all this violence, right from 2016 to date, will be properly investigated, and our electoral system and democracy will be cleaned of these violent states. Immediately we take over. And so anybody who is thinking about abusing these 3 weeks, abusing his power during these 3 weeks to create any problem, he must know that there will be consequences for him after the takeover. We want to thank you all, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Okay, please.
No question. No, we want. Well, if you want to ask any questions, you are free to do so that.
Okay, thank you. The next question, please. TV3.
Okay, so just to find out from you, if you inform the IGP about what is happening at the police training school, because as the head of the police service, it should be okay. Right.
So what happens to the constituencies that have written collect?
Really collection of the
yes, General, you just told us that.
Oh, don't worry, I'm still General. Go ahead.
You just told us that the process ongoing at the police training school, the NDC as a party was not informed. You come to the conclusion that you are placing an injunction on the whole process. Did you arrive at this conclusion because at a point the NDC as a party realized that members or your delegates who were declared winners are now turning to be losers? Was that the position? Is that the position of the NDC?
Okay. Yes, which one?
Yeah, so you're saying that what is happening is an illegal issue, but we've seen that, and that results must be declared as a consequence. But we've seen that other results were declared as the EC regional office here in Accra. Do you still hold the same position on that?
All right, so that will be all.
Yeah. Well, you can run, but you cannot hide. This is notice that we are giving them. We are putting. So if an individual officer knows that he is conducting himself well according to law, why would you be running away from service? So the fact that they are running away from service means that they intend to become fugitives of the law. And you know what it means when you get arrested. The injunction application has already been served on the Electoral Commission. So the one who received the service is Daniel Nyamiche at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission. So the Electoral Commission has been served. Dr. Bosman Asare has acknowledged receipt of the application, and the director of CID, Faustina Andokofi, appears to ignore the process and has asked the EC to continue. So if Andokofi is allowing the process to continue, she would bear the consequences. Of her action. And the rest of the questions, it has been answered. I'm saying that, look, if you all sign a declaration here that we are going to commit crime, Does that make the commission of the killing of the person legal? It does not. It's conspiracy to commit crime. And they can deal with all of you. And I'm saying, as leader of this party, that I'm not involved in anything that has, arrived at any consensus to do anything anywhere. And when there is a declaration, nobody can do any other declaration. You resort to court. If a person is listening, you go to court. All these charges about I declared under duress and so on, they will be part of the evidence that you will lead in court, that I did this under duress. And then the elements of duress will be investigated, the particulars of the duress will be investigated. And then it will take the court to make a pronouncement on your claim. So you can't say that an electoral officer has told you that he declared the results, but he was pressurized to declare it. So you are going to call that person to come and recollate and redeclare. It hasn't happened anywhere. If that is the case, the process will go on ad infinitum, because anybody in any of the constituencies can come out and claim that he or she was asked to declare under duress. So what do? You have to go and open up. That is why the law is very, very clear that once the declaration has been made, you can only question that declaration in a court of law. And in the case of parliamentary, it's the High Court. So you proceed. And we have precedences, several precedences of this. Techima himself, only in 2020, it was after the declaration, we brought all the pin sheet down here to the Electoral Commission headquarters in Accra. Our MPs who led the work to present those documents were beaten up by the police. And the Electoral Commission said, you should go to court. Even where we have all the figures and the tally indicate that the officer there was wrong. So we went to court. So what has changed? And incidentally, they are now talking about the same Techima Nsap, where they are claiming that some declaration was done wrongly. So now they are calling to now recollate and redeclare. So it's like when it falls this way, then it is not allowed. But when it is that way, then it is allowed. In 2016, when we complained initially, being collated, collation had not ended. Presidential collation had not ended. Peace Council members came to President Mahama's office and sought to find out from us what we thought they could do, because we had addressed the press that wrong things were being done. So they followed up to President Mahama's office to try to find out whether they could be of any help, because they heard us appealing to them. And we said that, look, the pink sheets are there. Things that are being done, we believe, are wrong. So can we all meet at a place, NPP, NDC, in the presence of external observers? Then we all go through the collation, and whatever the figures will come out, we will all accept. That was where they were talking about, and changing figures, talking and changing figures. So we said, let us deal with this thing once and for all. Can we all meet and resolve it? Peace Council agreed to go and consult the other side. Indeed, they went to consult the Electoral Commission, and they consulted NPP, and they consulted the external observers, and they actually gave us a time, I think 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, for all of us to meet at Kempinski Hotel for this exercise to be done. That was where collation had not completed, but we found serious problems with what they were, figures they were announcing. And that was the reason the Electoral Commission invited our agents from the strong room to be briefed about in her office. And so when they had that information, they were now proceeding to go and see President Mahama so that we will all reconverge at the Kempinski Hotel for the exercise that we all agreed to undertake. When they were on their way to President Mahama's office, Jim Mensah was declaring results. And the claim was that if we didn't agree to anything, we should go to court. We went to court asking her to come and mount the witness box and tell us the basis of her declaration, because we have had about 4 of now. So we can only get to the bottom when she tells us what figures total which results she declared. Our case was simple. Because you have declared results. And we said that give us the figures whose total come up to that result. And the court blocked her from accounting to the nation and turned around to say that we who were demanding that she should tell us the total of her work, we should rather be our pink sheets. What they are doing now, subsequently, when we brought pink sheets in the case of some constituency election results, as we did in Techiman, Electoral Commission managed to produce some figures which were completely different from those they had signed to and given copies to us. So this conduct is undermining a key transparency measure where we are going now. And by the ruling of the Wenchi court in the case of the Techiman issue, is that even if you are holding a pink sheet signed by Electoral Commission, it's useless. If Electoral Commission is able to get another pink sheet whose figures are different, then you must go according to Electoral Commission's figures. So what check would the political parties have against the Electoral Commission officials themselves engaging in fraud? Nothing. So it's a major issue we will be addressing in the next government to make sure that we restore the credibility of the Electoral Commission and the confidence Ghanaians had in our commission before the advent of Madam Jones. So I think we have, and then somebody was saying because we did what? It is neither here nor there. If we want to follow it, because we lost, I bring them and say that, okay, my claim is that the declarations were done under duress. What will prevent them from recollating? It will be a chaotic situation. So it's not about anybody winning or losing. In fact, all the constituencies they are dealing with there I don't think any of them is in our tally as at now, but we still have won. $180 something seats. So we are just looking for the right things to be done according to law. It's not about winning the election. They themselves, even before the declaration of the results, they themselves had come to tell us that they have lost. But it is not about winning or losing. It's about making sure that the democratic process is followed. And that is why we are doing what we are doing. So thank you very much. We have already crossed two-thirds majority.
Yes, so that is it. And you ran some no can. You put be a man about democracy, who they would have. It shouldn't be Afenyo Markins. He doesn't believe in democracy. Afenyo, he doesn't believe in democracy. You know, the near brain a democracy was a main tenacity. And Chino home and Medina and Fred and Saint Trefon Shemu, Sel Mumbrano Mumbai. Omumeka Masi be mammo. Muti abemu na mune esentwefo sen na mune omudi omo mutimi ko UTV na masoma nkofo so monko bu obi mutimi ko Metro TV Randy Abe monko se bu obi bailiff na bodyguard mu a I don't know na taxi mu mudi chiri omo customer on live program inti mono he doesn't believe you people do not believe in what democracy. So when it comes to democracy, don't come and condemn NPP, NDC. Catch them. Mamumfa manu ANC, NDC at this time. Papa ni yesweni in real. He has ultimatum of 1 year for kono na mo NPP for mwetimi akasa. Even on a crown, and yen simbia na wese mukambi. Amua mukrano etete hopi amoto. Usimi kuratra ujaya soya ujatana mumunna mu ye corrupt e wosenka baina mu gum enka baina mu gum Afenyo Markin mumunna mu ye corrupt munna mu ya kromfo na mugu Ghana what you say Ghana sika modi Ghana japade mo wia Ghana nsase amatonton ye ka intino ubegina no na ye NDC mu yese maza yes so muso makacho say menye MPP NDC ni menye MPP ni a it doesn't mean say opposition party ni betna say kan say bia ma yenso yasom ni yakase bi no in the media yo man we for the past 8 years did say bi on my we the media ye no yedi madia media yo man we for the past 8 years nti anyende Ghana for ayi mo free agoro no amoma reporto amabo me akwantimi nkasa onama na wasini tiase yes ambre ena mo babe ye press conference hunu mo wade papa bianka mo ye I'm telling you me buefu na make asara mo wade papa bianka you people nka mo ye nka ni senwe potowi ena mo wiye in Ghana's political history been see that which may record 41% in the presidential election moningu wasia betenasi ye press conference moningu wasia beka GM asem hwe winning na GM dia winning. That means he has been chosen from the heaven. Into the moment will be beginning and can say be some fun. Nanado nana today system of war healing nanado how many percentage say no nya or the winning abano as compared to ene don't the money Mahama His Excellency percentage ben on sunya or the winning abano. We people shouldn't provoke us. Will be a beginning press conference and this why is and this why is they just started, even they haven't started. A binding medium Akufo still is the president until 7th January. Until after 7th January, no will be a press conference. Yan pesi be who MPP be and can untum. Amunsha Mambuno. Munsha Mambuno. Namunja be some phone amutiko medina or Bianca Masemno. A dinner with the Ghana for free tickets. The come with pretty dear Kugum Yiska Ketwa. And so, and me successful. Papa so ba no be Ghana nurses muji tum se mubetu yomuka alawa ene mwenti ya papa ni so oba wa be ni yi eti mu kama nuntum. You people shut up and watch sit in it mo ko ya mu kama nuntum. You people shut up mo kama nuntum. Afenyo, you are not the one to teach or preach about democracy because you have the net, you have the right, you have the opportunity to do that, but you refused. Thinking say who power to beat me in the upper. Now, it's a woman to a GMP no. So useless money didn't say. And I don't pray. Because ND's phone I see soon. A sense I say. Into the GMP NGMP for. Na MPP for saying sassy the more because NDC wa muyi bi. And no lose seat on and I'm gonna wa pantain. When you bre and I will pay. Asa. Attention, you people, attention. Pension will be okuma monkama to NPP for NDC for me bumino. Master o mine already. Send your papa review to be pakano. Be a better coupon one fee. I'll bet them for your life. Obey them for several years because Abanwe Yankupon Saw Yankupon Shroud. Hanum a negative mess was say. We subscribe to your channel now like it when you know I share that for 4. And you be a median mega. No, I'm for a United States of America, Mammy Yankupon Shroud. Mamma ye be UK. Yankupon your memory can say you be a negative. I salute you. Yankupon Shroud. Bye bye.